Hello and welcome to another episode of Abandoned Airplanes. Today we visit 3 non-towered airports in southern Arizona. We uncover severely damaged aircraft, an Ameriflight boneyard, and a treasure trove of Lockheed Hercules parts. So come join us on this adventure as we uncover the world of abandoned airplanes. Benson Municipal Airport is a public-use non-towered airport located 4 miles northwest of the town of Benson, a city in Cochise County, Arizona. It lies 35 miles east of Tucson International Airport. The airport was opened in November 1999 and covers an area of 140 acres at an elevation of 3,831 feet. The airport has only one paved runway, numbered 10 and 28.
Alright, we are looking at November 414 Victor, damaged in a fire. Look what it did to the glass, or the plexiglass. What fire will do to your wing. That's why you have very little time to land as quickly as possible.
The 414 is a light, pressurized, twin-engine transport aircraft built by Cessna. It first flew in 1968. An improved variant was introduced in 1978 as the 414A Chancellor. It is powered by 2 wing-mounted 310 horsepower Continental TSIO 520J 6-cylinder engines.
Look at the honeycomb structure used for strengthening composite parts. This is a Cessna 414 Alpha. Tail numbers 414 Victor. Do you think it landed like this? Do you know the story behind this aircraft? Let us know. So this DA-20 is from one of the pilot puppy mill training establishments up there in Phoenix. You can see the gear collapsed and prop strike requiring engine tear down. So that's going to be pricey. And the story I'm told was a night cross country. I'm sure there was an instructor on board. And this student collapsed the nose gear. Now typically people that don't have a lot of experience at night, they will fly the airplane right into where the landing light is illuminating the runway, which is like 5 feet in front of the airplane. And that's a pretty typical common mistake. There'll be no flare. They'll just slam the airplane into the runway, and I'm sure, based on the fact that this happened at night that with a student, that is what occurred. I'm sure this plane's not abandoned. 9 November 386 Mike Alpha, but it's been here for a little while, and I'm sure the training school is trying to get the plane written off. There's the data plate. So maybe you'll see it for sale. If you do, be leery, right? Make sure you check to see if they've done a tear down on that engine.
The Luscombe 8 is a series of high-wing, side-by-side seating monoplanes with conventional landing gear, designed in 1937 and built by Luscombe Aircraft. The Model 8A had a 65-horsepower Continental A65 engine.
November 45641. Luscombe 8A. Wind's having a field day on this poor aircraft. Anybody know what that is? I don't. I'd give the paint 8 out of 10. Oh, brand new tires. That's a start. That's a start. Interior, give it a 6 out of 10. Needs a little work. Like the fighter stick. Launch the AIM-9 Sidewinders with that top red button. Fits too comfortably. Baggage area holds Venturi there. Suction gauges. Still has an engine in it. Prop looks like it's in good shape. Oh, there's the telltale sign right there. Air filter just coming apart. So if you need a Luscombe, this is your girl right here. Rotting away here in Benson. Okay, the coolest airplane on the Benson ramp is this DC-3. Why is this DC-3 here? What can you tell me about it? Super DC-3. Looks like there was a logo up there that's disappeared. Got the split flaps down.
The Douglas DC-3 is an iconic propeller-driven airliner first produced in the 1930s. It was powered by two radial piston engines of 1,200 horsepower each. The DC-3 has a cruise speed of 207 miles per hour, a capacity of 21 to 32 passengers or 6,000 pounds of cargo, and a range of 1,500 miles. The military version of the aircraft was known as the C-47 Skytrain. Total production including all military variants was over 16,000. The Super DC-3 was a standard DC-3 airframe with major modifications. They stretched the fuselage, adding 39 inches to the nose section, and 40 inches to the rear cabin. This added 6 feet and 7 inches of usable space. All of the control surfaces on the DC-3 were covered in fabric. This was done to lighten the amount of force required by the pilot to manipulate the controls in flight. There was no hydraulic assist or fly-by-wire to aid the pilot in flying the aircraft.
November 3-4 Alpha Hotel.
The Coolidge Municipal Airport was constructed in the early 1940s by the U.S. Department of the Army. Originally constructed as an air transport command base, Coolidge Army Airfield served as an auxiliary operating base for Williams Field during World War II. The original airfield was constructed with 3 runways in a triangular configuration. Of these 3 runways, only 2 remain: runway 17, 35 and runway 5, 23. In January 1950, the airfield was transferred to Pinal County by the Department of the Army. From 1962 until July 1992, operations at the airport were dominated by training activities of T-37 jet aircraft based at Williams Air Force Base. Air Force activity at the airport ceased in June 1992, just prior to the closure of Williams Air Force Base. Many of the original structures from the 1940s still exist on the airport, including the massive hangar that dominates the landscape.
Just make sure your fingers aren't in the way of the camera. Yeah, they're all over the camera. Yeah, you can't see nothing.
Oh, I see my fingers.
Okay, yeah, let's get those fingers out of there for me. Test 1, 2. Okay. Hey. All right. Can you come a little bit closer? All right. You got the shirt. Hey everybody, we're in Coolidge, Arizona, just south of Phoenix. We're looking at abandoned airplanes today. We're going to take a look at these C-130s. If you can pan over there, we're going to take a look at those C-130s. There's a whole bunch of them back there. Not too many other little GA airplanes, but I think we got enough to keep everybody interested. So let's take a look. Arizona and Papa 08, looking at abandoned aircraft. Today we found some very interesting C-130s.
The Lockheed C-130 Hercules is a military transport aircraft powered by 4 Allison T-56 turboprops. It was designed and built originally by Lockheed. The Herc entered service with the US in 1956. The C-130 was originally designed as a troop, medevac, and cargo transport aircraft. The versatile airframe has found uses in a variety of other roles, including search and rescue, scientific research support, weather reconnaissance, and firefighting. It holds the distinction of being the longest continuously produced military aircraft at over 60 years.
You can see, looks like the control surfaces have been loaded into the cargo area. It almost looks like an air brake, but it is actually for the paratroopers to jump out this back exit door. Ask me how I know. I've jumped out of this airplane 5 times. Airborne, 5 jump chump. Fort Benning, Georgia. We got 3 more 130s, and I'm assuming this company does this for air attack aircraft. They probably, these are donor cannibalized aircraft to keep other C-130s, air attack C-130s flying. Look at that wing, just cut, not removed, not unbolted, but literally cut. To these gear doors. You think they had a belly landing? Gear up landing of some sort? I would say so. That's some serious damage right there. This airplane was in a gear up landing. There's the radome. You see these radars are moved. Engine's been removed. I think they were PT6s, I believe. This particular plane was Hawkins and Powers Aviation Incorporated. Lots of cannibalized parts. I don't know if you can see over there, but there's a bunch of radial engines from, I don't know, no, way out there. Those are radials. Oh wow, look at this. Look at this compressors or turbines shafts from the engines right there. 4-stage, 1, 2, 3, 4 axial. And those are burner cans over there. You see them in that? Those burner cans. Those are where all the magic happens. Out at us, it's Sunday. We're waiting for either a dog to attack us or somebody to say, "Hey, what are you doing?"
Probably caught their attention now.
This is pretty cool. This is definitely a Hercules graveyard. Look at those control surfaces. Holy cow. That's like as big as the wing on my Cessna 150. Here's an actual wing. This one looks like it was actually removed. You can see all the bolts, bolt locations. Wish I had a drone right now. Oh, I'd really get myself in trouble. And all these C-130s with turboprops, and we have this interesting fella here, a 2-row radial engine. Not sure what this came off of. Oh, it's definitely a right. It looks like the this looks like the cylinder I've got in my office. Was it 18 something, R18 something? Man, look at all those gears. Test stand. Compressors or some turbines down there. Looks like fuel pods. Looks like we got a little turbo right here. Little turbo action there. That's about the size of the turbo that was in my VW Passat. There's the weights. Max gross weight 120,000, landing weight 120,000, operating weight 113, empty 67. So she can carry almost 2 times her weight. That looks like a APU right there. I think. Don't know. Can't say for sure. Some kind of Venturi. That is pretty cool. Anybody know what that is? Chime in, let us know. Some kind of vacuum system, I assume. Another big radial over there. Corn cob. They got a bunch of barrels in the front of the planes. 50-gallon drums, I assume, because these things are tail heavy when all this stuff has been removed. Look at those Fowler flaps. Wow. Hey, car, look at these Fowler flaps. I guess this is where you would normally disconnect the wing if you weren't cutting it, sawing it off. APU looks like it's been cannibalized. There's all kinds of cool parts. Oh, is that what you were talking about? The tires on the props there? No, those are radial engines. Look at all this stuff. This is crazy. So, if you need some props, need some cowlings, need some C-130s, I'm not sure you're going to be able to save these. Between the 4 of them, I think we got enough parts here. We could put one together. All from Hawkins and Powers Aviation. If you know anything about Hawkins and Powers, the history behind them, hey, put it down in the show notes. You guys are super duper helpful on your sleuthing, talking about you know, putting that information down. We've had people give us personal accounts of, you know, growing up with the airplane, their parents or their dad owned it. Man, those are awesome. Because I know there's quite a few pilots out there that fly fire attack, and I'm sure they've flown these airplanes. This is like a super good one, yeah. PT6, put it in backwards. Always thought the PT6 was unique in the fact that it takes the air from behind it, brings it through. And these are free turbines, unlike the Garretts that I used to fly, which are geared.
Leaving Coolidge, we fly 70 nautical miles to the northwest to the town of Buckeye. Buckeye Municipal Airport is a city-owned public-use airport located 7 miles northwest of the town of Buckeye, a city in Maricopa County, Arizona. The field was established in 1942 and was originally an auxiliary airfield for Luke Air Force Base during World War II. The airport covers an area of 706 acres and sits at an elevation of 1,033 feet. It has one paved runway measuring 5,500 feet long and designated 1735.
So in case you were wondering what happened to all the Navajos for Ameriflight, well, guess what? We found them. They've been moved, at least partially, to Buckeye, Arizona, as literally like a boneyard for the Navajo.
The Piper PA-31 Navajo is a family of cabin-class, twin-engined aircraft designed and built by Piper Aircraft. Most models carried the 310-horsepower Lycoming TO-540 turbocharged piston engines. The Piper PA-31 was produced in a half-dozen variants spanning 2 fuselage sizes over a 17-year production run beginning in 1967 and ending in 1984. All told, just over 1,500 examples were built.
These things have been here for at least, today is November 2020, and they've been here for at least 6 months now. And if you know anything about Ameriflight, you know these planes never looked pretty to begin with, but you can see as soon as they've been put away wet, they start to degrade very quickly. I mean, it's amazing. You'd think these things had been here for years. Yet Arizona is a great place to bring airplanes because it's so dry. You don't have a corrosion problem. The flip side of that is the sun is brutal. It is brutal to plastic. It is brutal to rubber. It is brutal to paint. And you can see that in these aircraft. They are rough. I'm sure many of you have flown for Ameriflight. It's a place where a lot of people built up their hours, flying pretty hard IMC conditions with no autopilots most of the time. I mean, it's really a gauntlet. You survive it, you're definitely a good pilot. You wouldn't have survived otherwise. So interesting. I was offered a job. My first twin job was with Ameriflight when I was still teaching at the college, and they were going to put me in a Navajo, and I was like super excited, and got from about a month out from going to my training and decided, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to stick with the school. I ended up getting a turbo commander job as my first turboprop job, so it was the right decision. And really, you know, I think had I taken it, I would have learned a lot. But I don't know if my piloting skills would have been up to some of the stuff these guys go through. You know, it's totally different in school, teaching in a schoolhouse. You don't fly when the weather's bad, and you only go if you feel comfortable, and that's unfortunately in the real world, that's not how it works. And you've got to learn to fly in weather conditions at some point, and a lot of it happens OJT and in this case by yourself, alone at night. That's the way you learn, and you either live and learn, or you run out of luck and you die trying. Fortunately, it's usually the former and not the latter for most people, but every now and then somebody gets unlucky and they're not able to gain that experience. And I'm sure the stories these planes could tell from these box haulers. These folks, you can see these planes have been changed from standard. The windows have been blocked out to a cargo configuration. You got this rear cargo door. Navajo, with a bazillion hours on the airframe, probably been overstressed. These things are literally almost bulletproof. Then you might want to call Ameriflight and say, hey, what's going on with your Navajos? Because these suckers are rotten quick down here in Arizona. It's not abandoned. It is a Porter, Pilatus Porter, I'm sure, and it is in service for a skydiving outfit down here in Buckeye. Pretty damn cool airplane. Pretty monstrous, kind of like those ag cats. You don't really get a feel for the size of these planes until you get up close to them. Some other planes out here on Buckeye, and even a helicopter. And you always have to have at least one 150 on the ramp.
There are some other aviation gems at Buckeye that we did not have time to fully explore. Located on the grounds of the airport, we uncovered several amazing aircraft that may not have been abandoned but could be waiting restoration to their former glory. If you know any information about these airplanes, please add to discussion in the comments below. Thank you for watching this episode of Abandoned Airplanes. Want to see more? Check out our previous episodes.